Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 9th, I believe. Yeah, Wednesday, July 9th. And the topic I wanted to talk about today is it's kind of linked to everything that I've been talking about recently or the last 2-3 weeks. And it's based on life perception. And the reason I wanted to discuss this is because my mom said something to me, and I guess I didn't realize it, or I didn't think about myself in this way, because she compared me to my youngest daughter. So what it has to do with is what we value, or what our life perception is, or what is important to us. So she made a comment at the car dealership. My car and my father's car was due for a trade-in, or the lease was up, so we had to trade it in for another car. And this time, because of my dad's Alzheimer's and he doesn't drive, my mom wanted to take the car in her name. So what we essentially did was my son took my vehicle when he got his license, and I took my father's vehicle just because he wasn't driving anymore. And this time, my son's going to college, but my mom said she wanted to start driving just so she feels a little bit more independent and doesn't have to rely on other people, etc. So while my son's at college, she'll utilize the car, etc. I'm hoping that does happen, but we'll have to wean her into that. Okay, so my son's going to college. He's going to stay at the school, and he's not allowed to bring a vehicle, so the vehicle will be at home. And while we're at the dealership, it was my son, my mom, and myself. My son had to go because obviously he had to drive the other car there, and we kind of wanted him there for the experience to see what the process is of handing in a vehicle, getting a new vehicle, kind of just like life lesson for him. So he was there with us throughout the whole process. So while we were there, and I showed my mom the car that we were gonna get, mind you, I did all this via email / phone calls. So I didn't physically see the car. I've seen the car on the road, but I didn't see it inside. I didn't know what I was getting. I knew the color because the guy told us the color and the model, etc. So as we're sitting there and we're going through the process, my mom looks at me and says, your youngest daughter is exactly like you. She's like, I didn't realize how similar you two are. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? And she looked outside and she said, I'm gonna miss the my car, the black Ford, which was my dad's Ford Explorer. I'm gonna miss that car. It did so much for us. It took us so many places. Like, I'm gonna miss that car. She's like, and you're not attached to the car. You're not gonna miss the car. Like, you're not attached to it. She's like, there's nothing you're attached to. Like, things come and go in your life, and you're not like sad about it or worried about it or stressed about it or missing it. And it made me think, because I was like, you're right. I guess I never thought of it that way. But when she said it, I said to her, I said, well, Mom, we came here with nothing, and we're leaving with nothing. Like, we came to this world with nothing, empty-handed, and we're leaving this world with nothing, empty-handed again. So why would I get attached to anything if we came with nothing? And she said, you're right, but I also wanted her to understand, because I even said, it's not that I don't value things or I don't care about things. It's just that I utilize a vehicle to take me from A to B. Like, it takes me from my house to work. Like, it allows me to do the things that I need to do to move through life, and And she said, yeah, she even said, she's like, but you don't even care. Like, she's like, your youngest daughter is the same way. Like, she doesn't care if it's a brand name, if it's a certain, you know, accommodate, like if it's leather, if it's, you know, the interior, if it has navigation, if it doesn't, if it's electric, if it's manual, like, you don't care. You're just looking for basics. And I guess she was right, because and I even said to her, I'm like, yeah, my husband's not like that, because my husband wants to know the car, wants to know the interior, wants to know, he likes to know what he's getting, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying I'm better or worse, or he's better or worse. It's just, we're different. And not to say that my other two kids aren't the same way, but I think my youngest daughter is the most similar to me, even though I always would say that my son was very similar to me, because again, he was getting one of the vehicles and he didn't care. Like, even when I was talking to him about the colors, I was like, oh, one's gonna be gray and one's a green. I said it was originally a gray and a black, but then the black was more expensive. And I said, if you have something cheaper, I'm fine with, you know, I don't have a preference. And my son was the same way. He wasn't like, yeah, I want the black or I want the gray. He was like, oh, whichever one. And like, I showed him the colors and he was like, oh, that green looks nice. Oh, that gray is not, you know. And then he goes, I don't mind taking the gray. I don't mind taking the, you know, the green. But he wasn't like adamant, I want this one or I want that one. He could care less. And I've always felt that he was very similar to me too. And my son is also like me. Like, he doesn't care about brand names. My mom would take him to Bloomingdale's and pick something, and he would always like look at the price tag and he'll be like, no, I can get it cheaper in TJ Maxx, mama, you know, I don't need that. And he wouldn't get something he doesn't need, but he also would look for savings, or, you know, for whatever is the cheapest, not to kind of cut edges, but the most value for his buck. And I'm like that. I feel like I want the most value for my buck. And there's certain things that are more important than others, I think I should clarify or specify, because I would pay anything for a good meal. Like, I'm not stingy on my food, what I put into my body, just because I do value my body and my health. And I think it's important what you feed yourself, because that to me will harm me more than being in a car that's $30,000 or $100,000. You know, like, I feel that what I ingest, what I feed myself, will help me with my mental health, will help me with my productivity, will help me with my physical health, my strength. I guess seeing my parents get older and the different health complications they're having, and not to say that my parents eat unhealthy, because they've always eaten food that they make at home or they make at their business, and they use the best quality. But you know, some things are greasier than others, or some things have more condiments or are more salty than maybe I would have. I love veggies. I love salads. I'm not a big meat eater. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but it just, I don't know. I just have never been. So I think everyone's preferences or life perception of what's important to them is different. It doesn't mean that someone else is better than another person, but it really did make me analyze myself and my life and just how I live my life. And I like the way I live my life. I'm not going to say I don't. And I'm not going to say that I'm stingy, because I do feel like I splurge on certain things, but I try to save as much as I can. So I try to look for the deals and the savings and economize wherever I think I am able to. But like I said, I do like going to a nice restaurant and having a good meal. Even if it's a little pricey, you know. It's not that I do it every day, but I do enjoy. That's one of my splurge items, or that's one of the things that I would say I enjoy and I don't mind doing. So that comment that she made just made me really think back and analyze it and see what's important. And I think we all should sit down and analyze it and not compare it, because I think a lot of times we compare, like, oh, you know, I always remember when I was younger, some family members would comment on, oh, you know, your mom likes to spend a lot of money and go to gamble a lot. And I would always think, like, why do they care? Like, she's not gambling with their money. So she's going to gamble with money she's worked hard for. And one time I remember saying to one of them, yeah, my mom does enjoy going to casino and gambling and playing. But you enjoy going to a mall and shopping and going on shopping sprees and racking up your credit cards, you know? Like, so my mom's not going to the casino and racking up her credit cards. She's going to the casino and spending cash money that she worked hard for. So that's her preference. That is what's important to her. So your preference is to go shopping. You know, that's your preference, and that's what's important to you. Or someone else's preference is to go on vacations. That's what they enjoy and value and work hard for. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So I don't think anyone should criticize or mock someone's lifestyle or what they enjoy, because it's not affecting you. And sometimes we don't look at ourselves, or we don't look internally, because, all right, I may not place much value on certain things, but then there are other things that I place value on. And regardless on the price tag or the value on it, the value to me is very significant and very different than the value to you. So if someone goes to a casino every weekend or every other weekend or once a month and spends $500 or $1,000 or $2,000, you know, and they may win it back or they may not, they may lose it. Now you go on vacation or you go shopping once a month and you spend the same amount or maybe less or maybe more. It doesn't make your expense or your enjoyment more or less important than the other person. So I think we all need to reassess ourselves and stop looking out and judging and criticizing others for what they enjoy doing, because everybody is different. We all have different values. We all have different beliefs, different morals, which is okay. But it doesn't give me the right to judge you or criticize you, because they're not the same. They're different, you know, and that's fine. So her making that comment didn't make me feel like she was judging me. It actually made me look and think, oh wow, yeah, I do feel this way, and I never looked at it like that, and that's okay. And my daughter does feel that way. Mind you, I have 3 kids, obviously, my son, and 2 daughters. So my middle daughter is very different. She loves Lululemon. She loves brand names, but she also does like TJ Maxx and does shop at, you know, Target, and doesn't mind also wearing things that are not brand name. So I think there's a balance. And not to say that I never have brand names. I do. I do have certain things that are brand names. Like my glasses right now, they're Prada. But where did I buy them? I bought them at my nail lady that gets them stolen, and I paid maybe $75, I think. I don't even remember. So I'm not saying that I don't like nice things or I don't enjoy them. Now, if it looks nice, if it's something that's my style, I'll get it. Now, I will look for a value. You know, I when I saw this and I said, oh, okay, these are $500 glasses, I'm paying $75, it's a no-brainer for me. Would I go to a Sunglass Hut and pay $500 for the glasses? Probably not. Plus, I don't like shopping. That's something that I do not enjoy. So it's just not my preference. So I don't enjoy spending 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in a mall. I just do not. But I will enjoy spending 2, 3 hours in a restaurant, eating a nice meal, having a conversation, and sharing time with you. So it kind of reminds me like of the love languages, that everyone has their own love language, and we expect people to value our love language. So I will give love the way that I would like to receive it, and I expect people to value it, and that's not right. Like, I have to learn what my husband's love language is and be able to express my love for him in his love language, just like he is able to express love to me in my love language. So I love time, spending time with people, you know, and giving something that will help make your life easier. So I'm not a big gift person. So I do find, and I think it's a flaw, that I don't give a lot of gifts because that's not valuable to me. What's valuable to me is my time and your time. So if you take time out to spend it with me, that's more valuable than anything. So I think that's like where everything correlates, or where I'm trying to bring everything together. Everyone has their own core values and what's important to them. And it doesn't make yours better than mine or more important, or give you the authority to, or not the authority, give you the right to criticize mine. And not to say that my mom was criticizing it. I really feel like she was saying it from admiration and from a side of like, wow, you're humble. That's basically what she was saying, because she said it in her own words. Like, it's humbling. And it was humbling in a way, and then it was also like, oh, awakening. And then I realized how it's trickling down to my kids in their own way. So I'm glad that they value it in their own way. Like, don't get me wrong, my son has his own preferences. Like, he loves going to the movies, so he doesn't care, you know, going to watch 2, 3 movies. But then I do see him looking for value in it. Like, a few months ago, he said, Mom, I don't understand why you don't upgrade your AMC A-list membership, that I can go 4 times a week to watch a movie and you just pay this monthly membership. And I was like, I didn't see the value in it, because movies is not valuable to me. And then my husband broke it down to me and explained, and I was like, oh. And then my son broke it down to me, and then I was like, all right, let's try it. He's like, you could try it. If it doesn't work, we can drop it. And then we tried it, and he was like, this is what we saved, Mom. Like, we saved $150 or something like that in the amount of movies that I watched and what you pay for the monthly membership. So I was like, oh wow, like he's looking for the value in something that is important to him, but he's also not like wasting it away. Like, he's not like, I don't care, I'm gonna waste whatever I can waste because this is what I enjoy. Like, so that's something he gets from me. And I think each of our kids learned something from all of us. I've learned a lot of things from my mom. And I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want to make this super long. But anyway, what it brought me back to was our perception and our values and what's important to us, and how to respect other people's values and what's important to them, and understand that it's okay that it's not the same. And it's hard sometimes because it's easy to judge. I'm someone that has done it as well. But I feel like I'm very easygoing with that. Like, you do your thing, I do mine. As long as you're not affecting my stuff, I'm fine with you doing what you got to do. As long as it's not affecting my pocket or my lifestyle, I'm okay with it. And I think we all should be, and we should all respect it. And teach our kids that it's okay. It's okay that we value different things. We just understand that, and understand that it's all right to respect that this is important to you, this is important to me, and I don't need to criticize you, and you don't need to criticize me. But also it's nice to hear it from someone else because we don't always see it the way they see it. So this all came from the car dealership that we were changing the cars, and I guess my process on how I do it and how others do it, and how we respect it. Because I honestly, I don't care that my husband cares what car color it is, what size it is, what interior. I don't care. You do you. As long as the bottom line price is not super crazy, I'm fine, as long as it's reasonable. And that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. Life perception, values, the importance of it, and respecting each other for what's important to each and every one of us. Okay, so let's make it a productive day. Let's help someone smile and help make someone's day easier and smoother. All right, take care. Until next time. Bye.